We are here today at North Hagley Park at Christchurch, New Zealand. First game of the day is Marvellous DC versus Big, and both teams looking very hyped up to win. So it should be a very big game to watch. Now on to the commentators, Phil Shields and Zoe Decenber.
We're good. And welcome to this great game we're going to see today. Top seeds from Pool A. We have Big first seed versus Marvellous DC. My name's Phil Shields.
And I'm Zoe Decenber.
We have Marvellous there in light. They're on left of screen. They're starting on offense as we see the pool go up from Big in dark. Right of screen comes down. This is it. This is a big one. This will be for who really goes through and gets bragging rights as top of the pool in their pool at the moment. Goes through with a big dub, nothing but dubs all over and on them. So
Fitzpatrick with the disc going on to Haberfield to Bowen. They're looking for the space downfield. You can really see that they're really trying to get first point. Intensity is very high. Want to come out firing. On to Taylor, down the line. A nice toe in from Mildenhall to Crosby. Haberfield. So Haberfield has the disc, looking for something in the end zone. Swings back to Fitzpatrick, to Haberfield, to Mildenhall, back to Haberfield, Fitzpatrick, to Taylor. Down to Bowen, across the field. With a score from Haberfield, from Fitzpatrick.
yeah, that was a great score by Marvellous DC to open their account. Moving across the field, they did work it up quite slowly to start off with, and Big, really I think the defense that they put on, it did hold them out, but it really, maybe it was more of a testing defense, I think, more than anything to start off that point. But we need turns. Both teams need turns at this point in time if they're to get a bit of ascendancy over the other team, but not such a bad start from either team. We'll see if they can lift the intensity. That was just a training run, I think, for them in terms of passes.
I think they're definitely trying to look out for the field and test their opponents. Coming out strong, you want to start the first point, bringing everything you have to kind of put the tone, and for this big rivalry as well, so they're going to try their hardest every single point, I think.
So Marvellous with the pool now. Let's see how this big lineup goes. So Marvellous have set the tone, no turns. How will Big respond? Over to Keddy. Keddy's looking for something. A few cuts in. There's a lot of space in front of them. We've got Whitlock now, so Whitlock back to Keddy. They're going to be the two mainstays handling, I feel. Marvellous shutting them down. Keddy going across to Cardi Squires. on the near side. No wind to speak of here. Just crossing out halfway mark at the moment. Disc is with Keddy. Playing a lot of small ball at the moment. We've got a few hanging out in the end zone, so we've got more or less an ISO play at the moment between maybe 4 players. We've got 3 players deep. So that's going to be their game plan at the moment. The deep players haven't done anything at the moment. Going to restart with Begaki. Begaki, nice, slightly high. Moving into that middle. Now they're knocking at the door. 3 metres out from the front of the end zone. Keddy's looking at there. Who's going to get it? And we have a score by Whitlock. That's fantastic work. That's Begaki to Whitlock. Great work. So again, no turnover ultimate. That's what we're looking for from both teams. That was good work for both teams. So defense on both teams have been tested, not greatly. It's really just been a game of holding them. We see it here again. That's the pass that really made the big gainer there to Keddy. Keddy gives it back to Begaki, and there we go on to Whitlock, just to jump in over the line. It's great work by Big. Both teams holding at the moment. Scores a level 1-all. So Big talking about what their game plan is. I think both teams are going to be happy to do match defense at the moment. Like I said, really nothing in terms of wind here. Pull goes up.
Trying to attack the disc so that the defense doesn't get to you. Haberfield has the disc again. Down to Neil. Back to Fitzpatrick. Trying to work it down the field. Using all the space out wide. Back to Haberfield. To Fitzpatrick. Working it between the two of them. It looks like they're trying to find a deep option to Bowen. Back to Haberfield. Here, look at the deep shot. Oh, a big jump from Neil. To Fitzpatrick. Across the field to Crosby. Back to Fitzpatrick. And a nice into the corner to Haberfield. Score from Fitzpatrick to Haberfield. So another score from the pair. We can see that they have good connection between the two, working it down the field together. And then using that across the space, so using the full width of the field.
Again, just holding at the moment. Defense, while tight, really isn't testing either of these top teams' offensive strategies. Just working it up slowly. Offense really, by and large, in control of everything, the motion, the movement, the disc space, the handler space, and also the cutting space. So it'll be interesting to see tactically how they're going to change things up, because the defense, both defenses need to get the turn to get that all-important break.
And that is what is going to bring them forward, because at the moment, if you just hold, it kind of goes one score to the other, and you need a break to make the difference. So that is what they're going to try to do, reclaim possession when you start on defense. And then so to score then from a turn.
Yeah, looking at both lines there, we had everyone from the big team was up on the field listening to the strategy that's in place by their team. Conversely, looking at Marvellous DC, just the 7 on the line, having a nice little chat to themselves. I'd really would like to see the whole team get involved from Marvellous, being out there. But as it is, the disc goes up. Get a call in a bit closer from Zhu. Zhu across to Keddy. Keddy's going to be a big mainstay in this big team, I feel. Zhu taking that mid-space as far as the handler goes at Axis. Now it's on the far sideline. Nice cut up the line there by Ruhlman. Ruhlman receives it. Looking for something, doesn't get much. Has to give it back to Zhu. Zhu into the middle. Halfway up the field now. Nice tight defense, as I said before, but really not testing this offense greatly. Looking for some big bids. Back to Keddy. Nice big cuts here. That's going long. That's going deep. We're looking for a tall player. I think that's going to be Whitlock. Goes over the top. And we've got a foul call. Stephanie Lynch coming up with that disc for the defense, but we do have a foul called. You can see it there. It's really hard to see anything. Lynch was really the only one that read that well. I think there's a bit of boxing out. That might be the call. There was a jump there. You can see the jump. If Whitlock went over the top, I didn't quite see that. I felt like Whitlock, just my personal opinion, went over the top. They're asking for sideline help.
So the foul got called on.
Here we see it again. Jumping over. I'm not too sure what he's calling the foul over. Is a box out? It's the only thing I can see.
It called the foul on Mackenzie.
Here we go. See it again. We got position. Just jostling as far as I can see. And from my opinion, again, just Nicholas Whitlock just really got boxed out well. The disc is going to go back. So Keddy will look at that again. Maybe he'll wind up once more. So Keddy, Zhu. Back to Keddy. That was a bit high. Able to reel that one in. Big fakes. Centers it. Great work to Bugaki. Now coming back to Whitlock. Whitlock who went deep before. Working hard. This defense is doing well. Keeping them out. Nice and tight. Still no turn though. There's a nice low flick. Received. First touch by Cardi Squires. Cardi Squires goes over the top. Boxed out, round the back. That's great work into the hands of Keddy. He's happy. Shows the disc to the ultimate god. Slams it down into the ground. That's a great callback from Big. So scores are level 2-all.
So here you could see that they were playing it, trying to find their space across the field to find that. Try not to get it jammed into the middle where everybody is. Looking for that open space with a lovely forehand up with a big jump from Keddy.
Yeah, great work from Cardi Squires. He found the space in the back right-hand corner, which really gave Keddy that advantage to run onto it. Didn't give his defense any opportunity to get that disc. That's great work. Nice vision. And I like the way also Keddy worked his opposition player, Neil, just under that. Both these teams from Wellington. They'll know each other quite well, I suspect. And we're still on serve at 2-all. I think this one's going to go down to the wire. What are your thoughts?
Definitely, it feels like it will. Both teams are already fighting for it, bringing that intensity up already from the first point. And big pull. Up to Bowen. To Haberfield, trying to look for his players downfield, across wide to Bowen. Make handler movement downfield. Back down to Haberfield. Straight in the middle. Fitzpatrick down to Haberfield. Pair trying to look for that connection again. The pick got called. Down to Bowen. So it looks like MDC are working with three handlers. Aston with foul, a strip got called.
I think it's a foul, just as she left her hand.
So uncontested.
Burke agreeing with that one.
Aston with the disc. To Fitzpatrick. Out all the way to Haberfield across the field. To Aston. Moving it across to Haberfield. To Fitzpatrick. To Bowen. Trying to look for that space. And again, another one. Contested as out.
Let's see that bid there by Van Bergen. Josh tight on the back there as we got this up the line cut. Here we see the bid by Van Bergen. Puts everything into that Superman. Can't quite see if his foot's on the line there. Plays in the midst, saw that possibly better than we can see on the screen here. They'll talk that one out.
It's quite close to call.
So this goes back to the thrower. All right, just coming back in to Taylor. Fitzpatrick. Down the middle to Aston. So after that call, they wanted to get it back and clean and putting it down the middle.
So potential for turns at the moment. The calls are there. I think they're clean calls as it is. But still, no one has done a turn, so it's still on serve at the moment at 3-2 to Marvellous.
Here you can see that the space got opened up right in the middle for Aston to go straight in to score. The swing to Taylor, back to Fitzpatrick, and then right in the middle there between two players for Aston. She found that space and made the most of it.
Yeah, and that's the way that I think these teams are going to score. They've got to move it into that middle space. Gives them a lot more options than when they've got it on the sideline, you know, jammed up in a corner. You don't have the left-right options. You've got one or the other. That's about it. Aston did very well, recognised that, did a nice little cut there, back and forth, found the space. Right in front, you know, a metre away from the end zone. That's your scoring opportunity, especially when you're in the middle. So good work. I think Marvellous were a little bit more tested by Big's defence then. We'll see what the response is going to be.
And it's all about being patient on the disc. You can see with those big swings, it gives their team downfield time to cut into that space and maximize the gainage that they have, but also keeping calm on the disc is quite important. That way you know you have confident throws and you're not panicking when you throw.
So big disc goes up by Neil. Gets centred roughly to the brick mark at the moment. Jules. Nice cut across there by Whitlock. Jules cutting back. Nice jink. So these handlers at the moment, Whitlock and Zhu, not bothered really. Makes use of a new player there in Lynch. Zhu, hard against the sideline. Halfway, this is striking distance. Whitlock, easy juke there. And we have another pick upfield as Keddy gets free, has to walk back. Says g'day to the player who's marking him. So bouncing back and forth over this halfway line at the moment. Big to Keddy. Still makes the space. That's a nice looking one to Lynch. Lynch, foot on the sideline again, this time the near sideline. Goes across to Zhu. Zhu right in the middle of the field, has options available. Nice stack. Lynch is doing well to get free of a play, and that's a really nice put just out of the hands. I think that's 17. Ruhlman. So Lynch doing good work. They're getting free of her player.
You can see she's going for it and just missed by the tip of the fingers.
I would have liked to see Ruhlman lay out for that one. That would have been some superb effort there if she was able to get that.
So now MDC has a chance to score. Leishman has the disc. Going across to Neil. Neil faking that deep. Robertson. To Neil. Back to Neil. Aaron. Trying to look for something on the sideline. From Robertson to Neil. Oh, and another one. Very close to the fingertips.
Pretty much a replay of what we saw at the other end, just outside. Someone's going deep. There's a big wind up there by Whitlock. We've got Ruhlman going deep. It's holding up. And that is a great put. That's end zone to end zone stuff there. Can't get much better than that. That's absolutely fantastic work. Nicholas Whitlock saw the deep going, put it. And it was a great rundown, great chase. Great win there by Big, I think. They won the battle there for sure.
And they definitely didn't want MDC to score a point. They were like, we want to get that disc back, and they got it, and then they scored. Lovely, you can see it go straight in front of her. Had enough time to read it. Good. Neil trying to get in front of that disc, but she still,
there we see the
Ruhlman still got it.
Samantha Ruhlman just kept going. I really like that. She didn't bother to look back till she was near the end zone. Didn't cut blind, kept going, saw the disc, felt all her teammates on her shoulder, pushing her along, knew the disc was up, boxed out well. That was really good stuff by Sam Ruhlman.
So it looks like Big is going to come in with a big chase, a big defense to try and generate those turns.
So Reisner with the pull.
Now Bowen trying to Habersfield. Looks like there's a defensive zone. They're going to have to work through that. Over top to Taylor. Trying to work their way through to Bowen. To Fitzpatrick. Injury got called.
Never like to see a player down. Here we see that cut in.
And they're both looking to get the disc, and they just ran into each other.
Both of them with eyes for nothing but the disc. One on offense, one on defense. Fitzpatrick did try and pull out as soon as he saw the opposition player there.
Calling, there's a call being on the field.
So really this is about a little bit about right of way, a little bit about who saw who. Could they have pulled out? A little bit of dangerous play maybe.
Because this in the end is a non-contact sport, so we want to avoid any collisions as possible, and you don't want to push any other players out of the way either. So this is why we have these calls called dangerous play, where you can look at to see if it affected your play, and if people are kind of barging through, you don't really want that. So Fitzpatrick. So it looks like they've gone back to match defense for big. Here Bowen with a disc. Oh. And a strip got called. So Neil with a disc. Down to Fitzpatrick. We got the Habersfield-Fitzpatrick connection. Again, down into the back of the end zone. For Aston again. She's again in the right place at the right time. With a lovely over-the-head throw.
So Aston doing great work there in the end zone. Can see here that put back to the middle. Looking around, just seeing the free player come up now. Opts for the hammer. Nice angle, straight into her hand. Aston saw that early as well. Good work there by Marvellous to set that one up. You see Haberfield, you see just in that top of the screen there. Great catch by Aston. So you can see there the mainstays, the players we have for Marvellous DC. We're looking there just at the back end, number 81, Aston's done some great work, got a couple of goals there also, and Haberfield.
So we can see the connections that this team has. They are definitely trusting each other with those big throws, which is very good to see at this level, because you want to know where your teammate will be, and to be confident that they will try and catch what you throw. So MDC with the pull. All the way to the end zone.
It's a nice hanging pull. Keddy picks that one up. It's a great run down there by Marvellous. Whitlock with a disc in hand. Whitlock is also the coach of this big team. One-handed grab, had to lay in the end just to steady himself. Keddy's been a solid mainstay in that handler position as it goes to Bagaki. She's been solid as well. Back to the coach, Whitlock. Just over halfway now, knocking at the door. That's a great bid. That's clean. That's our first turn. That's by Aaron Neal. Marvellous DC get the turn. Can they capitalise? That's what we want to see here.
And now they're going to have to work hard to get that score, and they will be hungry for it. So we've got Neil on the disc. To Lynch. Timeout being called. So these timeouts each team has 3 timeouts, and they can be called when you're offense. These are moments to talk about anything that has worked or not worked, or what plays they want to do next. And it is also a time for the teams to take a breath and compose themselves to then go on to come out stronger and faster.
Yeah, so Aaron Neal, with that great layout, trying to juke his opposition to get that disc back into his hand, and immediately calls a timeout. I'm trying to figure out why that might be. Maybe he felt a little bit puffed, a little bit injured. Maybe he just wanted to sort of like settle his team, because it is important. They do have the turn at the moment. This is the first opportunity in this game for a break to be done. So maybe he's thinking, I just want to settle the team. I want to let them know what the deal is here, the importance of getting this break at the moment. In the context of this game where we've just had trades, everyone's been on serve as it is. The score is tight at 3-3. To get this break means a lot. So he's discussing that. He wants cohesion. He wants everyone to be on the same page.
Dirty cheats, man. All the stream comments, that was all out. That one down there. Oh, yeah. I think the problem was is that there's the blue and the black line, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he was on the blue and not the black. Oh, sorry, the other way around. I'll cheat me. And I was like, you know what, that's just keep pushing later.
So we're back. Aaron Neal picks up the disc.
So now it's a big one for MDC. They want to keep that possession, checking if all the downfield players are set. So offense sets first and then defense. So now MDC will want to score for a break. And looking downfield, Neal with a disc to Mackenzie. Got some handler movement, trying to get their downfield into the correct positions. That's a turnover right in front of the end zone.
Whitlock makes a call, puts his hand up, says 2. This is a practiced, rehearsed strategy they have here. I see Keddy setting up from the front. Zoo comes out.
And a big score, another score for big holding. So for these end zone plays, usually if you get the disc right in front, we have set plays. And it's just so that go through the motions of what you've practiced. So they kept their patience. They didn't panic on the disc and just wanted to get that score in.
Here we see it again. There's that turnover.
Just off the fingertips of Mackenzie here.
Keddy again, quite happy with that. He's got a couple on the board himself. It's been essential in the handler role. Done a bit in the midfield and a couple of scores on the board to help big.
So Phil, what do you think about this matchup so far?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I think we have seen a couple of turns at the moment. So cracks are appearing in both teams.
There haven't been many turns, but when turns have happened, it's been come back from them wanting to go get possession of the disc again.
The score's at 4-all.
And we can see so far there's been 2 turns for each team since the beginning of the game. So you can tell that they are very smart with their disc and want to hold it, keep hold of it, and the execution is spot on. Haberfield to Fitzpatrick, back to Haberfield. So Hogg at the disc to Fitzpatrick, looking downfield. Haberfield, looking the big one up. Down the line to Taylor. Middle to Fitzpatrick. Bowen. Over top. Haberfield. Taylor. Haberfield. All the way across to Fitzpatrick onto that far side. Haberfield. Taylor. And working it, trying to keep patient. Fitzpatrick, Haberfield. And Fitzpatrick. They're really trying to work it down, trying to find that space. Over the top to Hogg. In that corner, Haberfield, Fitzpatrick. You can see they're very patient, wanting to work it through, wanting to make sure that they can score and have a certain score. Trying not to get any turnovers or blocks from their defense, so making their defense work across the field. Here, you can see Haberfield faking that deep shot, making his defender overbid. Back Haberfield, and then a little pop for Fitzpatrick. So Hogg in that corner, down to center to Haberfield, and then into the middle to Fitzpatrick. So looking for the gaps in the defense for their offense to go into. And that is by keeping patient and finding the holes.
So both Haberfield and Fitzpatrick having a good collection of assists and scores between both of them. In this opening stanza here of this match between the top 2 teams in Pool A. Big seeded first versus Marvellous seeded second. More than likely, these are the 2 teams that are going to go from Pool A through to the semis.
And they're both trying to get to the top so that their next game they want to get the highest points up so that that way they can have an easier quarterfinal, so that they have an easier path all the way up to the final.
So for both of these teams, it really is this game which is going to determine who lands on top of the table. Both teams have won all 3 games they've had so far. They'll have one more game today. Aju gives it to Coach Whitlock.
And you can see here there's a defensive zone from MDC.
Keddy finds himself in a lot of space, bit of poaching off there. Now we've got quite a shutdown defense, a little bit of poaching off from the handler space. One goes over the top. Nice big swing to to Bagaki. Can't find anything upfield. There's definitely a zone look happening at the moment.
Zone is going to try and shut down anything down. They will allow sideways movement. They just don't want them to gain any yards.
Trying not to get anything through. Aston on the mark. This could be the shutdown opportunity. Keddy close to the sideline. Now they're out of danger. Back to where they started after at least a dozen throws, I feel. There's a call of travel there. Juice saw himself in a lot of space there. Wanted to give it to Bagaki, give go, make some room, make some space, make some yardage up the field. Disc is tapped in. Switch is going on. Zone not terribly ineffective in terms of holding them up for a while, but not a lot of holes. Here comes a big hole through the middle there, just as I speak. Keddy brings it over to Aston now. Stuck on the halfway mark. Now they're starting to adjust to this zone. That's a nicer round. So we've got Lynch over on this sideline. A lot of space. If there can be a flat hammer to Lynch, they've got some ground. Lynch comes up now on the near sideline. Might be just out of screen now. She comes in. So a lot of space. That's some of the space, but the big man is up to it. He did enough to draw Tara O'Connor under that.
So now Neil with a disc. To Van Turnhout. Back to Neil. Neil has a disc looking downfield. Van Turnhout to Neil. A big throw. Neil with a grab. And that's in. So that is a break for MDC, which is what they want.
That's our first break of the game.
And this will give them the upper edge now going into the next points. So they're going to try and look to take half. Half is at 8, so game to 15, so first to 15, or until the time runs out. They're both big jumps from the two players downfield, Neil and Joe.
You can see it again, right there, jumps, and there's that foot. Almost breaks the ankle to do it. Great work, MDC. You can see here, Mara Neal, assists 10, Aaron Neal, total, sorry, that was the score, that was the assist, sorry, and the score. I was looking at the players' number thing, 10, that's a lot.
That would be a lot, we're not even there, there yet.
They wish.
They will try and get there though. Big pull from Neil.
That's a nice healthy pull by Mara Neal. So now we have Big on the back foot. They need to get this one and then break back next if they're to stay in it. Of course, after half, offense and defense changes up.
And that was an unfortunate drop from Roman. So MDC back with a disc. So Mara Neal with a disc. To Mackenzie. Back to Mara Neal.
Tight marking by Keddy.
Mance with a disc. Back to Neal. And gotta be patient on the disc. Find those options. Up the top with big D from Whitlock.
Coming to say, I have a feeling that was a bit of a Hail Mary pass. I think there was a high stall count. She had really nothing in front of her. Went big, went high. So a couple of teammates, you see there. Whitlock everywhere, using his height, using his speed. Comes in. You see the two MDC players there, but they didn't have a chance against the might of Whitlock. Big with a sigh of relief. So they're going for a side stack at the moment, maybe with an ISO. Definitely a side stack. No cuts, so maybe just handler set, working it up the field. Now we get some cuts in. Lynch is free, looked off, still free, goes up the sideline. That'll work out for them. Bit of directing from Panay Smith. Now Lynch has the disc. She's been getting free a lot. Good working there. Quick give and go there by O'Connor. Keddy. Whitlock makes a good down the side bid. Comes back to Panay Smith. Moving in the backfield. Whitlock bails from the cutting position. Comes back to be a handler. Panay Smith now in the middle of the field. 6 metres away from the midline. And we have a pick called upfield. This is a great match. The matchups here are spot on. Defense hard, riding the backs of the offensive players. You can see here another one there. And we get a score by Sam Ruhlman. And that was a great put by Whitlock as well. Timeout called. I think both teams are stuffed at the moment. I know I would be.
And it looks the defense is really tight when they're on match defense. Really trying to put that pressure on offense so that to kind of make them panic, like what we saw there where she had to kind of do last second throw so that she wouldn't get stalled out in the hopes maybe someone would catch it. And unfortunately it didn't, and then turned over for a long pass downfield for Big.
Yeah, there was a spot on put there by Whitlock to Ruhlman. It had to be. The defense was tight. You can see here in the big huddle, everyone's grabbing a drink there.
And Ruhlman has, so far for Big, has already scored two goals for the team. So she seems to be getting free down in the deep, finding that space and able to score on it.
Both teams coming out of their huddle now. What can this big team do? They're going to ask a lot from their defensive lineup. First of all, they've got to break this Marvellous O, and then they've got to score. Do they have the chops to do this? They've got their teammates both sides cheering them on in their ear, riding them hard so that they get that D. Happy days as the pull goes up by Tita Smith.
Crosby picks it up to Bowen. Fitzpatrick, Haberfield. Fitzpatrick. The connection between these two, a lot of passes have happened. Decisive passes as well. Bowen down, going into that handler space. Fitzpatrick. Across the field to Haberfield. To Taylor. Try making them, gaining some ground here. Haberfield. Connection to Fitzpatrick. Another one from that duo. We love to see it. So MDC are holding on at the moment. With another point on the score, leaving it 7-5.
There we see again Fitzpatrick, number 39, with the score. Great layout bid by Ryan Sheridan, giving it his all. He'd come off the field knowing that that bid put the pressure on. Unfortunately, didn't get the D, which is what they wanted, which is why he extended himself. So that break by Marvellous DC allows them to have that 2-point lead, potentially 2 points going into the break if everyone stays on serve from here on in. Big pull by Leishman. Finds the hands of Pania Smith safely. Round about the brick mark. Back to Pania Smith.
MDC putting a zone, putting the pressure.
It's the second time at least that we've seen this zone look by MDC. Obviously feeling that changing it up has worked, gave them the break. Will it give them a second one? Now, for me, I'm not feeling a great wind, so we need to look at the positioning. Big need to look at the positioning of their players against this sort of zone defense. That was a better move. Keddy working his way across the field. I have a feeling that the deep defender there for MDC is trying to bait a lot. We've got two women either side in the back of the end zone. Are they going to look for them? They look free and open, but nothing is a certainty.
So with this zone defense, they're just making them swing and get those passes. Once you get in the middle, that's when you start gaining ground.
Just past the outstretched fingertips there of Van Turnhout. And that's a great D there by Aston. Fantasy points on the board.
Now MDC has the disc, trying to work it quickly downfield. Bowen has the disc. To Leishman, back to Bowen. Leishman looking downfield, swinging it across to Robertson. To Van Turnhout. Robertson again. Robertson to the far side. Trying to get their downfield players to move to make that space. Van Turnhout looking at Leishman. Leishman has this, Van Turnhout. Pick got cold downfield. Robertson. Oh, they're across. To Lynch, so that was another break for MDC. And they take half. So they capitalized on that turn. Putting pressure on with the zone, making them pass more.
Here we see that underhand backhand by Whitlock. Aston seeing that he didn't need to thread that needle. He really didn't need to play it a lot more calm. The fact of the matter is that that MDC zone was working. It was frustrating them, you know, and Whitlock was there. I saw when he had the disc in his hand, all he was doing was looking at the end zone. He was frustrated. That was a frustration pass that didn't need to happen. There wasn't enough movement through that mid. The popping wasn't happening the way that they wanted. So as we said, Marvellous DC, MDC go into half, 3 points up, 8-5. We've got the break. We've got a highlights package for you. We'll be back after. Please tell your team, mates, your friends all about this live stream. Join them, have chats. We'll see you in a moment.
Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out of my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Give and we take, the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. You got me feeling some type of way. You make me wanna stay in all day. You're the reason I can't get out my head. I just can't stop thinking about you. 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 I just can't stop thinking about you.
Head underwater, I'm falling back into you. I thought we'd be smarter, but got nothing left to lose. You said you fall with me, no matter how far it goes. Down deep and under, we're stuck in this pattern, but I need you close. All I ever wanted was for you to prove me wrong. You're changing our colors again and again. I could never let you go. Something about you feels so different, makes me wanna risk it every time I look at you. You pull me back into your river, swim a little deeper. I don't need to breathe with my head underwater. I don't know the reasons, I'm not sure I really care. We're all of our demons, and they never disappear. I will forgive you if you've forgiven me. We're stuck in this pattern, but I need you close. All I ever wanted was for you to prove me wrong. You're changing our colors again and again. I could never let you go. Something about you feels so different, makes me wanna risk it every time I look at you. You pull me back into your river, swim a little deeper. I don't need to breathe with my head underwater. I know it's not easy, I know we could dive into. We're not like the others, they do not need to know. You said you fall with me, no matter how deep it goes.
Welcome back to this match, and what a scintillating match this has been so far between the two top seeds, Big and Marvellous DC, MDC, both from Wellington, shooting it out. See who is the contender, who is the pretender. At the moment, MDC are the ones that are putting their hand up. They want to go through undefeated in this pool. It's been a cracker of a match so far. Couple of breaks. What are your thoughts, Zoe?
They both came out firing, both really hungry for the disc, trying to get that break. MDC managed to get a few more turnovers and get a score, and now they're up 2 breaks and wanting to keep and pull their lead ahead, so want to get more scores on the board. And then Big, they will want to come back. They will want to try and get more points, get a few breaks on MDC to get ahead of them. So I think both teams are still hungry and still bring that intensity back into the second half.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just wondering how Big talked about that. 2 breaks.
Pulled up from Neil.
So Big 2 breaks down. And here we see that zone look again. It has been effective. I'm not too sure why Big can't get past this wall that they're putting up.
MDC is really trying to shut it down, trying to get them to pass as many times as possible. Nothing through the middle.
Keddy just happy to keep it in the hand, Lisette. And that was run through. Didn't get the hands to it, but did enough.
So that a run through from Philip. Seeing it. Down to Mackenzie, looking downfield, trying to get his offense to move around. To Neil. MDC in a vertical stack, cutting into space from Mackenzie. Trying clearing out. And overhead, just a bit too high.
Yeah, Van Turner looking for the big hammer over the top. Bit too much chili on that one though. Lynch unable to reel that one in, just skimming over the top of her hands as it sailed into the back of the end zone. So now Zhu. How rattled are this big team? Another turnover by them. Bagaski, Zhu, Keddy, and Whitlock. They're the people who are going to have to lift. That was a good over the top, gained a lot of yardage. They need to do that again. They need someone just sitting in that back, just behind this wall of 6 defenders, just 1 deep. 2 walls of 3 in this zone defense by MDC. And it is effective.
Really trying to shut anything down going through the middle. Protecting that space.
Travel called. Caught it. Quick hands and quick feet. Didn't look that bad from my angle. But obviously MDC picked something up. Baiting everything. O'Connor. Now they're over halfway. 2/3 of the way up the field. 1/3 to go.
All they have to do is keep possession of the disc and work it down the field.
O'Connor fakes an overhead. Bails out by Zhu. Everyone over on that far sideline. Lynch now, she gets free a lot. There's one through the middle. That's great foresight, great vision. And that is just a plain old-fashioned throwaway by O'Connor. She will be kicking herself over that one. They did so well up to then.
It is the pressure does get to you. You see your defender, you see that open space, and then you just want to throw it. And sometimes you just throw it a little too hard for your receiver. MDC with the disc now. Van Turnout with the disc, trying to look for something downfield. Here, Mackenzie. Van Turnout again, looking down. Here, Neil on the far sideline, trying to recenter the disc.
I still count.
Aston back to Lynch. There is not much movement downfield, trying to get them their cutters to cut in the good space. Mackenzie with disc. Back to Aston. Slowly making their way through the field. Whitlock really trying to get a hand there. Pitt got called from the stack. Pick happens when another player comes between you and your offensive player, so the defender cannot catch up. So Mans has the disc. Mackenzie across to Van Turnout. Whitlock really trying really hard to get in front of that disc, stopping Mackenzie. Neil to Mance. Trying to recenter that disc again. Not much movement from downfield, all happening at the same time. Again, probably another high stall count throw. Didn't have many options.
So Mara Neal, 2 high stall count bailouts, not working at the moment for her. So they need to work on their release from the handler game, their dump game. And again, timeout called straight away. These players have been working hard defensively and offensively. Defense having to work twice as hard to be in the right spot to shut down their offensive player. Score is locked up at 8-5. We're still in the first point of the second half.
8. You see again the big throw from Big in the end zone by O'Connor.
They are parched. We can see everyone having some drinks at the moment from both teams. This is an extra long timeout. No, neither team wanting to move out of their huddle at the moment. There's a lot being said. There's a lot at stake here for both teams.
They're probably trying to clean up their game from both teams, see how to break the zone, try and get past it.
MDC hands in now. Last roll call. What they want to do, what their vision is. Big, on the other hand, talking about the comeback, talking about the importance, the need to keep it clean. They can't just play safe. They do have to still take those big shots. But when you're playing from behind, you've got to weigh everything up. Risk versus reward. They'll be talking about the cutting. They've gone into a vertical stack position.
And MDC putting in their zone.
Now the zone tightening up, looking slightly more match-like. This is good. I like it because it forces MDC to go more into that match rather than the zone look. So disc is brought into play now by Ruhlman. It's back to Whitlock. Callaghan territory. They've got to be careful. Don't want to give anything up. If they give them a Callaghan, that just gives MDC everything in terms of a psychological advantage as far as this game goes. There we have the popping, which has been missing so far. But we need more than just one player to do that. That's a little bit high. So Jules taking it on board himself. That one zips across, gets in front of the player defensively. Held up again. Again, it's going static for big. There's no one in that popping zone. Lynch now putting a hand up. They need more movement than what is going on at the moment. They talked about this. They definitely would have talked about that. There's a great through ball to O'Connor. There's the next one over the top. And Whitlock brings it down strong. And I think there's going to be a call there of dangerous play, maybe. That's my feel. He did bail out at the end, allowing Whitlock to take one of the easier grabs that he's had. Oh. Here we see it again, running across, and he did bail out at the end. I think there's a case to be made for dangerous play.
I think it's more that number 28 had the disc and it got knocked out of his hand.
I think the strip. So the players on the field are asking for their teammates on the side just to have a look to give them an idea.
I want to see whether Mackenzie got a hand on the disc before number 8.
It is very hard to tell. Here we go, one more. It's so close. Only a few frames in it. You make your call at home.
So the foul got contested. Back to the thrower.
Everyone repositions. We've got Whitlock still in the clear and gets passed to by Jules. So disco's back, but same result. There we see it again. Very hard to say at the speed we're looking at, which is what the players on the field could only go by, the recollection of what happened. Goes back to Joel, and this time makes a zippy flick to Whitlock. Big breathe a sigh of relief.
Indeed, nice clean score there.
Whitlock, 1 goal, 3 assists, 1 block and a turn.
Now it seems that he's everywhere on the field, getting his hands on the disc.
So as we've been saying, since those first couple of breaks that Marvellous have got, this is the task ahead for the Big D. I hate saying it, but they do need to get a Big D.
They do. They're going to come back firing, trying to get that block, that turnover. Come running out from their end zone after the pull. Big pull. Floating right in front of the end zone. Here Taylor has fingers on the disc. Doesn't quite get control of it.
Panaya Smith to Reisner and back again. Now it's centered. This D needs to get the score now. Steady the ship. Titov Smith, can he pull out an assist? Doesn't need to jam it. Sheridan going to the break side deep. Panaya with the disc at the moment. Titov Smith. That is a lovely, lovely disc into the end zone to Stacey Matter. So good work. The Big D got their Big D and they got a big score. Great work there by Big.
You can see just bouncing off their hand.
Titov Smith now, the disc in hand. Player wide open. No defender in sight. Just communication breakdown from the Marvellous defense. There we see that. Nice angle there. Nice low disc. Easy catch. That's what this defensive lineup of this big team need to do more of.
And now they're going to be full of energy, ready to try and get another one. Big pull from Whitlock. Right into the end zone. Bowen. Big have put a zone. Zone defense trying to get those throws being shut down, pushing them back. Yeah, Haberfield looking at Whitlock. Sorry, Fitzpatrick to Bowen. She's looking downfield, nothing downfield for her. Haberfield still trying to find his players downfield. Bowen, defense really pushing them backwards. Bowen trying to get a few yards from forward to Hogg. To Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick in the middle. Over top. To Hogg. To Bowen in the middle. Cross to Taylor. Slowly moving forward. Bowen, fast movement downfield. Fitzpatrick. To Hogg. Moving it between those three handlers, trying to get as much distance down. Cross to Taylor. Big holding that zone, trying to stop anything going through the middle, making them swing. To Hogg. Slowly getting pushed back into the middle. Fitzpatrick. Haberfield. Fitzpatrick again. Trying to get some movement. Movement from the downfield. Try and move that defense from them. Taylor, right in the middle. Fitzpatrick. Into the score from Hogg. So they really moved it through that zone, making them swing. And then to the middle.
Yeah, great patience there by MDC. That last gainer to put them into the red zone really was the one that sealed it for them, allowed them to move it into the middle. And then, as you said, Fitzpatrick to Hogg. You can see there, nice back foot drag just behind the line. Gets the score.
Big really putting that pressure, making them move that disc quickly. Trying to make them throw short, quick passes to get that turn.
I think one thing I find interesting in this game at the moment is how effective these zone looks have been. We're looking at, like I keep saying, almost zero wind. I mean, I'm looking at trees all
Not
around
much
me.
movement.
I can't feel anything. Yesterday, you know, it was a breeze. It was cutting through me. I felt cold. Today, it's overcast. We've got a bit of warmth. The clouds have kept the warmth in. No breeze, but this zone is being effective. I'm wondering how much zone these two teams practice against, because I'm not seeing a lot of popping.
I think when it's not windy, you're trying to look for those longer shots downfield in a zone, like especially overhead throws, and maybe as well, like always doing those short, quick passes, keeping on the feet is very tiring. So you can see that they've done it a little bit, and they keep doing it and then trying to look downfield for a longer shot.
I think they really need to also call who's going to do the popping, or someone needs to put their hand up. And like you said, it can get tiring doing that, cutting into the space all the time. But as a handler, I don't think you can just throw it from side to side and not throw and then go to get it back. And there's one straight into the ground. Another turnover by Big, and another opportunity for MDC to get yet another break.
Good attack. Here, Mackenzie. Neil all the way across for a big shot from Aston to Robertson.
Yeah, that was a big layout there from Robertson. Lays out shoulder height to grab, extend, catch that one, bring it down. That's why he's the captain of the team. Bring that leadership into it. We'll see it here again. Swing goes across. Quite high, has to reach, extends that right arm, falls flat on the chest, comes up, stoked. That's a game lifter, that's a captain's effort right there. Aston, there we go. Slams it into the ground. That flat ball bounced after that got banged into the ground.
And that's another for Aston, and 2 goals with 1 assist and 1 block, with some decisive throws there from her. And so that's another break for MDC.
So 3 breaks to MDC, 1 for Big. Gives them that 3-point lead, now making it 10-7 as we just go over the 91-minute mark. Games of 100 minutes, so I think we're going to reach soft cap.
I think so too.
Keddy on the near sideline handling. On the far sideline, Sheridan has it in hand. Panaya back to Sheridan. All the way across the field. Bagatsky. Panaya Smith now. Nice poise, nice inside shot there, good look. Sheridan goes around. Bagatsky. Has to be a bigger round to the advantage. That's good look. Sheridan shoots it back into the middle. A lot of bouncing here.
And moving it quickly down the field.
Keddy. Keddy. Pulled the trigger. Not quite on the same page. Not enough flow. I see what he was trying to do. Take some oomph off of it, but in the meantime, taking that oomph off of it meant that gravity took hold a lot quicker than he wanted it to. Into the ground it went. Reisner on the mark.
MDC with a disc now. Neil, they're going to try and get it out of that end zone. Big grab. Back to Neil. To Leishman. Big jump again from Mackenzie. Down to Phillip. To Neil. Leishman working it down the line. Back to Neil, swinging it, recentering the disc. A bit too in front of Mackenzie from Neil. I'm gonna have to work hard again to get back that disc.
Big needing this point. Given back to Sheridan in the center. Pretty much the full field left to go for Big. Rogatsky puts her hand up, as does Reisner. I just feel Big aren't running as hard as they need to be upfield. There's a nice long look into the end zone, and it's brought down with relative ease by Panaya Smith.
Big work from MDC and Big there.
See that again. There's that put. And again, nice tall leap there by Panaya. Raises the hand in the air. This is what we need to do, ladies and gents, he's saying to his teammates. Much happier with the patience after that double turn from Big. Scores 10-8, Big trailing by 2. What can they do?
4 more, 3.5 minutes till soft cap. And then they'll add 1 point to the highest score.
And that's what we'll be playing to.
Big will try, MDC trying to then hold on to this, try to keep the disc to them and score.
So this will probably be the last point before soft cap, I suspect. Big would really be hoping to get the turn and the score before soft cap. That gives him an extra point before soft cap's being called. Wouldn't be the end of the world if that didn't happen. It just makes their job a whole lot harder.
So this getting brick, falling outside, brought onto the brick mark, which is a third down the field in the center. Haberfield with the disc. I'm looking at Bowen. There's a lot of movement down deep. Bit too big, bit too high for Fitzpatrick.
Now, Big need to show patience. As I said, if they can do a bit of clock management, and that's not bad, but I'm not too sure if hasn't run hard enough. That's what I thought.
A big pressure from MDC there, forcing their player to go.
And we're just going to go into a bit of a huck fest at the moment. Whitlock's name was written all over that. Sacrificing possession for yardage. I think could be a call because Whitlock did go over the top of the back. Might have felt that. No. So, nice swing there in the end. We've got Panaya in control. Gives it off to Tedov Smith. Tedov looks big. There we go. He's got Whitlock. I think Whitlock's got his name on this one. And he does. Seals that. Right at 99 minutes. That's the score they needed. Just to give them that little bit more of a whiff to get the dub on the board. Score goes to 10-9, so we'll definitely get time cap going off during this point. If they can then get the turn and this point, we have a universe situation. How good is that?
I think that is great. Big is bringing it back. Getting another break. Now they want to get another one to even out the score. And there goes the hooter for soft cap. So it is a game to 11.
We'll have to play this point out to see. After this point, it'll either be to 11 if it's a tie or 12 if MDC manage to get the point on the board. So we play this point out. The point has technically started. Starts at the beginning of the end of the previous point. So this point will be played out first.
The timeout got called. MDC will really want to put that one in now.
Give them a 2-point buffer. Watching MDC walk back to their line at the moment. Everyone you can see is tired. They put in a full game's effort. They've just got to push through this last little bit. Big, no rush, soft caps being called. Time management, they've done all that they can with that. I suspect both teams calling their better lines. Everyone on both teams, though, has been putting in 100% effort. Everyone's being used up to now.
And they've both kept the intensity going throughout this game. It hasn't dropped off at all. Always fighting for it, always hungry for the disc, wanting to score. Now a pull from Whitlock.
Looking for something big, floaty, back of the end zone if he can. There's the pull. It's got a bit of edge on it. It's going to land back right-hand corner.
Just where they want to be. Now they have to work it out of that end zone. Crosby, Haberfield, across to Fitzpatrick. Big putting in the zone. Down to Aston, trying to get that movement going. Across to Bowen. Nothing through the middle. To Hogg. Down to Taylor. Hogg has a disc. Back to the line to Taylor. Trying to get it off. Looking for his players. Big really putting that pressure on. Stopping things from going through. MDC really working for that disc.
Yeah, Van Bergen's on the mark. He's doing a lot of running at the moment. Ruhlman comes in to help out.
Now short, fast pop passes down the line. Trying to keep that momentum going. But getting shut down by that zone. Again, Fitzpatrick.
That was close.
And then Fitzpatrick trying to look back. And working it across slowly. Back to Fitzpatrick.
Van
Haberfield.
Bergen's legs are burning on that mark. He is knackered. If they can keep...
Bowen. Haberfield with a disc. Going backwards again. Trying to get his downfield to move. Fitzpatrick. Over top to Haberfield. Not many options downfield for him. A big bid there. Hogg. And that's a drop, turnover.
A clean drop. Van Bergen, couple of dives. He is toast at the moment. He needs to gain his breath. He's asking the rest of his defensive lineup to step up to the mark. They have to do this now. It's in the hands of Reisner. Goes across. Now we have Booth. Almost an intercept there. Panaya. Whitlock, what will he do? He likes those big looks as well. That's high. I think everything's going to be. Whitlock throws it out. Van Bergen asks for a second big, deep effort. He's going to have to dig deep.
Both teams looking at the pressure. They're trying to move it back downfield. Not getting much movement from the middle. You need people running in and out of that center space to drag in your defenders. Down to Bowen, Booth. Bowen again. Bowen, Fitzpatrick, across to Haberfield, trying to look for something downfield. Another swing. Another nice 1-2 for them. Back to Booth. Bowen on the sideline. More horizontal movement than downfield movement. Now working it slowly. But Big is putting big pressure on them, forcing them to throw across rather than downfield. More short passes down to Taylor, Haberfield. Fitzpatrick. Booth. Patrick working it down slowly. Fitzpatrick, Haberfield. Looking for something. Booth.
10 meters out.
To Booth, to Bowen. Really trying to move it. Haberfield. Cross to Fitzpatrick. Bowen. Again through the middle. Oh.
Foul is gonna be called. Whitlock baiting that one. Seeing it unfolding. Can see that there. Players will know how much the contact felt like. See a little bit of that there. Coming over the left shoulder of the MDC. I think he's going to ask if there's any sight on this. One more time. Looked pretty clean. It looks like he got first hands to me, but everyone's got their own opinion.
Yeah, but did that happen before we got to this? I know it's like... Yeah, we're looking now.
So asking to see if there's any vision on this. Coming in here. See that, slowing it down. That is really hard to see. Here's a closer view of that. Really slowing that down now. There it is. I think he had the extension because he's got the longer arms. The question really is, was there any contact at the same time?
All right, go play it back.
Yes, Big, yes, Big. Here we go, here we go, here we go, Big. Here we go.
Back to Bowen, Fitzpatrick. Haberfield.
Right over the top.
Bowen.
Yes, Nick.
Again, trying to work it, trying to get that defense to move, create an open space. Haberfield. Really big, putting a lot of pressure on them, pushing them back. Haberfield.
Yes, Booth, no next Booth. Go Booth, go inside Booth, go inside.
Putting a lot of pressure, really trying to get that forward momentum. Getting stopped.
Go around Sam, that's fine Sam, that's fine.
to Taylor. Haberfield to Fitzpatrick. Taylor on the sideline. Haberfield, maybe. Bowen to Taylor. To Booth. Back to Taylor, really close to the front of the end zone. Trying to find that little space. Booth to the corner. Fitzpatrick, big read, putting that pressure, pushing them backwards. Taylor, Fitzpatrick.
Great shutdown.
Taylor to Haberfield. Fitzpatrick, really trying to get that again. Over top to Taylor. Haberfield. Fitzpatrick again. Not much movement in the end zone. They're still trying to pull their defenders across. To Booth. Bowen. Back to Hogg. Sorry. Taylor. Hogg. Bowen. Haberfield. Down to Fitzpatrick.
That was a lot of patience, but also a lot of pressure there by that zone D, that big put on. You can't say they didn't have their chance.
There's have to do a lot of movement because there's not movement downfield. So the handlers really had to work. And then again, you have that connection of Haberfield, Fitzpatrick for another score on the board.
I feel for Van Bergen here. He was the man on the mark for big. Put in 3 huge layout bids to try and stop, all to no avail. A late call with that foul on Whitlock allowed him to get some legs back in the game. But in the end, tired out. It was just a matter of time as long as they had the patience before they found the hole. They found the hole, put it through, and Fitzpatrick ends up with the score. So we have a game to 12.
Yes. So MDC going to try and get that one.
Game to 12, and we have another huge game coming up after this one. We have the first and second seeds of Pool B. We're looking at Te Papapa versus United. That game's coming up at 12:50 local time. Sorry, 11:10, my apologies. 11:10 local time. 12:50 is the scheduled end for that. So that'll be coming up shortly. We have a short turnaround. Big need to play no turnover ultimate.
And that got bricked as it went out right in front of the end zone.
Is this the line that can bring that no turnover ultimate home? Whitlock's on the field, provides the height. Keddy's there, Panaya also. A lot of zip. First cut comes from Reisner. A lot of defensive pressure. There's, oh, she had it in her hands. Ruhlman.
Yeah, now back, this is into for MDC. Up, looking up. The pressure is getting to them.
He holds his head. Van Turnhout. Just let that go. Flick, turn the wrist over, gave that a lot of edge, and it went straight into the ground. Yardage gained, which isn't a bad thing at the moment. Keddy right on the corner. Hot defense. Sheridan now. And there's another turnover.
Big pressure on defense from MDC, forcing them. Now MDC will want to try and keep that disc, keep the possession. Neil on the disc. Up into the air. From the score from Leishman. So that's a win for MDC. The last intensive point.
Yeah, Mara Neal again. High stall count, puts it into the end zone. Third time's the charm. It works for her. Good placement in the end. Only MDC players in the vicinity. Big can't do anything about it. MDC take this match to go undefeated, go top of their pool. They are the contenders. They say, we are the real deal. Big now, having to probably go through and play the top seed of Pool B in the semis. Who will that be? Te Papapa or United? That is the match that is coming up shortly. Any last words from you, Zoe?
I think that game, the intensity was high all the way to the end. The pressure from defense and offense, both teams really wanted it. There was a lot of fighting and made from great points.
Yeah, as we see Leishman there again, just bringing that one down from the release from Mara Neal. They are happy. There we have the summary. 4 breaks gave Marvellous that win. That was pretty much it. Pretty scrappy in the end there. A lot of turns, clean holds. Marvellous DC coming out on top of that one with a +5. So great work from MDC. The stats say it all. That was the story of the game. My name is Phil Shields.
And I'm Zoe de Seville.
Thank you for joining us. We'll be back shortly.
ULTI.TV.